Two crafts happened this week. So I finished the coaster where I was using the remnants of that dress. There wasn't enough to make a decent sized coaster. I wanted to make like a feature centerpiece coaster rather than a set of like table mats. But there wasn't enough fabric for it, so I've added a colour, and I've also added the trim that was around the arms onto it as well, because I've never done one like that before. So this is what I now have. I think it's about 12 inches, but it's got the trim around the edge there, and I've now put that up on my shop. Something else I was doing, I found, I don't know where it came from, I had like a wooden heart on a bit of rope that you hang on the wall, or like you could hang it in a window or whatever, and I didn't want it, so I decoupaged it and I double-sided it, so you can have a different colour depending on where you want it, or you could hang it in a window or whatever and just let it twirl. So I've made that as well, and I am thinking about whether I can get more of this sort of thing, upcycle and decoupage those as well. So I don't have any of that stuff around, and I don't know anybody who has it who would get rid of it. But what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going out somewhere, and I know that there is a charity shop nearby, so I'm going to go and have a look and just see if that sort of thing is in there and how much it might be. Because if I can pick up this sort of thing for a couple of pounds, it's worth my effort. I had a look on eBay and Vinted, and the prices of things like this are quite cheap, but then there's the postage on top. So by the time you've done that, it's not worth buying them, because you've got to make money. So I'm going to investigate that. I've also investigated a little bit more into whether or not I can set up a haberdashery store on my website, and I could upgrade my Shopify, and then I could have multiple stores under one subscription. But I only have the basic plan. And the basic plan isn't the free plan. You're still paying for it, but it's the one where you get to have a store and all that sort of thing. If I want to upgrade so I can have another store, that's going to be a big financial cost upgrade. It's quite a big difference between the two. And I can't justify, you know, I'm not going to sell enough haberdashery to make that worth it. So I'm not going to bother with that. I think I am probably going to open a section in my store. The thing is, I'm not a haberdasher. I'm not selling it because that's what I do. I just want to sell the overstock and the things that I won't use anymore so that other people can use them. So I think I'm going to look at downloading all that stuff off my Etsy store and then adding a new section to my store. That's the only way I'm going to do it. And then I can just stop listing on Etsy, because Etsy's really dull. I think I have listings not due to expire until August on Etsy, so my store will still look live for a bit. But I mean, maybe it's worth keeping a couple of items on there, just because you can link to your website from Etsy, but I don't really get people going from Etsy to my store. So I think I'm going to do that and then just stop relisting on Etsy, because Etsy is a waste of money and it's so expensive. So that's going to be another little job, I think, coming up. And that's it, really. That's really been the sum of my week, apart from doing the usual stuff, doing the video edits and all my other little jobs that I do that aren't related to my business. So it's been a busy, it's felt like a productive week. It's been a good week. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. It's been quiet, busy, but not talk about busy, if that makes any sense. Most of what I've done hasn't been related to the business, but as I say, I have thought about those things. I want to expand on this because I've added this to my shop as well, and that's gone into the decoupage jar section, which I think is now called decoupage jar and home decor, handmade home decor. So I've expanded it. So this is the only one that's on there at the moment. It's the only piece I have, but I do want to extend that and start doing a similar thing. If I can get things like sets of coasters, I can decoupage those, and I can waterproof seal, that sort of thing. So again, I'm going to go to the charity shops, see what's there, see what I can get cheap. Charity shops are not cheap, but finding stuff in other places also isn't going to be that cheap. So it's a bit of a tricky one. So I just need to see what's about and just pick up things as and when I find them. It's not going to be like I'm going to have like dozens and dozens of things in there, because it really depends on when stuff turns up. Anyway, so that's that. I think that's my update. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. I have an update. I've been shopping, and not for essentials, which is rare for me. I went and had a look at that charity shop that I mentioned in my last little bit, and there was nothing in there at all. And I don't have any charity shops in my town, would you believe it? I'm a charity-free zone, which is really unusual for most towns now, and definitely for where I live. I thought there would have been loads. We used to have a couple, but they've gone. I guess people don't need charity shop stuff around here. So I went and did a little bit of window shopping. I was looking for inspiration and looking for things that I could decorate, just to expand on what I've got in the shop, because at the moment I only have the single heart. And I went into Poundland, the Range, and even Lidl. I just went everywhere, because lots of shops like Lidl have like their middle aisle, and you find all sorts of weird stuff in them. And I try to stay very open-minded as to the sort of stuff I can decorate. So in Poundland, I didn't get what I wanted in well, I sort of did actually. I found, now the problem is that I want to decorate stuff that is reclaim, that is upcycled, unwanted, thrown away, and in charity shops, because it's pre-loved. But I don't have any charity shops nearby, and I want to test the market and see if this is worth the hassle. Because if I decide to like regularly do the charity shops to try and find stuff, I need to go to at least the next town. And you're talking like half a day shopping trip, because you've got to get there. And they do have a lot of charity shops there, but it's the getting there, the getting sorted, going around every single shop, and you could easily kill half a day doing that. So I thought I would have a look in these local shops and just see what there is. And so I went into Poundland. Now, we used to have a Wilko's, which was fantastic. And I think it was Poundland that took them over when they went under. So Poundland actually are very, very similar to Wilko. So I found some picture frames. Now, I had thought about doing picture frames. So I found this rather lovely picture frame, which will be easy to cover. And they have these really bog standard ones as well, like these wooden ones. And they're really cheap. So that was £2. That one was £2.50. And if I went into a charity shop and picked up picture frames, are they going to be selling them for less than £2 each? I don't know. I haven't seen any in the shop that I went in. Later in the week, I'm going to have a proper half day out and go to my nearest town and have a look at all their charity shops, because I might be surprised. But charity shops tend not to be that cheap. They're usually small charities. Sometimes they're independent, and they need to make enough money to pay their business rates and pay their staff, the staff who need paying. And so they can't charge like Primark prices and Poundland prices for stuff and make any money to get by them. So this is why I've bought these things for now. These will get me started, and then I will start looking at the charity shops and see. If it turns out the charity shop stuff is too expensive, and it's going to mean probably quite a lot of shopping around, because trying to find stuff that's cheap enough is going to be a challenge. So that was my Poundland. So that was £2 and £2.50. That's pretty good. Once I've decorated those up and whatever, we'll make hopefully a bit of money on those. I also went into the Range. The Range have some clearance sections, and I found sets of coasters. Now, these do have stuff on them, but I can cover these coaster tops and then redecorate them. So I got 2 sets of these. These are sets of 6 coasters, and they were discounted to 80p. I'm not going to get a set of 5 coasters for 80p in a charity shop. So I bought 2 of those, and there were a load more, but, you know, I'm just trying to test the market. They also had some really nice slate ones. These were, this is a pack of 4 for £1.39. Now, again, they have, I don't know if it's printed or etched on, but I can cover that. So I bought 2 of those as well. So I'm going to try those as well. And then I went and had a look in Lidl's. And I was having a look at the middle aisle and, you know, looking for ornamenty type things, seeing if they had any napkins, you know, are there any serviettes that were good things. And I found these packs of wooden shapes. Let me just try and get into one of these packets. So these are wooden leaves. Pack of 3 there of wooden leaves. Perfect for decoupage. Look at that. And these are 99p for each pack of 3. So I bought 4 of those. So that's £3.96. And then they also had these flower ones, which are, again, a pack of 3. They're double-sided coloured, but they look pretty easy to recover. So I can decoupage those as well. And there was a load of those as well, also 99p. So I bought a 4-pack of those. So that's 2 lots of £3.96. And, you know, I'm not great at maths, but I can work out that 2 lots of £3.96 isn't £3.96. However, Lidl's have just put in self-service tills and taken all the staff away. And so I went to the self-service and I've scanned all 8, and it tells me it's £7.92, which is what it is. And then I paid and took my receipt and I left. And when I've got home, I'm putting my receipts into my spreadsheet, and it's only charged me £3.96. So I got half this lot for nothing. I don't know what's happened at the till, because when I was on the last bit to pay, it was definitely showing me the right amount, £3.96. So I'm going to have some fun with these items, and I also want to buy some clear varnish, so that things like the coasters, particularly where you're liable to get tea spilt and water and stuff, I can then protect those properly so that they are functional for their purpose. So that's my other update. So I have loads of things to practice on, and I will show you the results of some of that in whenever my next video is, because I've got quite a lot to do here, and I do need some new serviettes. I haven't found any yet, but you know, I have plenty here to get on with, so I will do that. So hopefully that was a bit more of an uptick on the last bit where I was saying I don't know what I'm doing anymore because I haven't got anything to decorate. So I have loads of stuff to experiment with now, so that'll be fun. So that's that.